Alright, I have a little topology exercise for you guys, which I pulled out of my little topology guide that I'm writing, and that's going to be available to you guys soon, by the way. But the exercise is this little handle right here. And I want to see how many of you guys can actually make an object like this with a hole and a handle or a bridge going over it with correct topology, okay? Let me show you a little bit more closely what I mean by this. I'm going to turn my wireframe over here. As you can see, all the topology is flowing perfectly well. We have a little bridge going over here. There's no triangles. I have a subdivision surface modifier over here, but if I disable that, you'll see there's no triangles. It's only quads everywhere, and everything is flowing perfectly well. We have everything connected perfectly. And I'm wondering how many of you guys can do this. And if it's not that many, then stick around, because that's what we're about to do here today. Now, in the previous topology tutorial, we were talking about how to make a hole in this cube correctly, all right? And there we were using some loop cuts and stuff to make a hole here without using a Boolean modifier, okay? So we're gonna have to start with something similar to that here today, okay? So the first thing that we have to do with this cube is we have to select it in edit mode, and we have to subdivide it a couple of times. Now keep in mind, the more that we subdivide it, the more squares we have up here to form a circle, which means our circle is going to have a little bit more polygons, it's going to look a little bit smoother, right? So you can go further than this. You can subdivide it once more if you want, but I'm just gonna go with having around 16 faces here on top, all right? And then once we do that, we're going to select one face over here in the corner, and while holding down Control and Shift, we're going to select the other face on the other side opposite to this one. And that's going to tell Blender to automatically select this entire surface on top here, alright? So we have the whole surface selected instantly with that shortcut, right? Control, Shift, and right click. It's going to select everything between those two faces. And then what we can do is just inset the face by pressing the I shortcut. And as you can see, that's going to start pushing these faces inwards a little bit. Now make sure you don't go too far, because then you're going to start getting some of this clipping and overlapping here, and we don't want that. We just want to go somewhere approximately halfway through the first face or something like this, right? And now we can just go to our top view or something. We don't even have to go to top view, but we have to make sure that we have our loop tools add-on enabled for this, right? So we're going to go up here to Edit, Preferences, and in this little add-ons menu, we're going to search for loop tools, all right? You want to make sure that this here is enabled, all right? It's going to give us a lot of useful tools that we're going to need here today. So once we have this stuff selected over here, we have a loop tools activated. We're going to press W, we're going to press loop tools, and we're going to press circle. And as you can see, this turns all the faces that we have selected into a circle, right? So now, this is what we learned in the previous topology tutorial, because now we can just extrude this inwards, and we have a perfect circular hole in this object over here. We don't have any weird n-gons or anything like that. So this is the right way to make a circular hole in an object, right? But we're going to make this a step further, because we still have to make the handle or the bridge going across here, okay? So what we need to do now is we have to delete these faces on top here, okay? So we're just going to press X and delete the faces on top here. So now we just have a circular hole, a circular gap here, which we can see inside the cube through, all right? Now to make this little bridge that goes over, we're going to have to get started by first connecting a couple of the edges here. So we're going to select two edges here on one side, or maybe you can select a few more if you have a more detailed circle or something like that. But I'm just going to go with two, because that works best for me here. I'm going to select two edges on this side and two edges on this side. And now when I'm in edge select mode, which I can access by pressing the 2 button, all right? Or I can also press this over here to select edges as opposed to vertices or faces and stuff like that. We select these two edges on opposite sides over here, and we press W, and we're going to go over here to bridge edge loops. And as you can see, this also instantly connects these two edges that we have selected on the opposite sides of the circle, right? Now we have to make this bridge look a little bit nicer, right? So we're going to add a couple of loop cuts, let's say 3 loop cuts, okay, here on this bridge with Control R. And we're just going to scale them down on the y-axis a little bit, or whatever axis you're doing this on, right? Just to make them a little bit more narrow, because as you can see now, this makes it look like it flows a little bit better. It's a little bit smoother. It's a little bit more rounded instead of just being a blocky bridge, right? You can take it as far as you want and make them as narrow as you like. Just make sure they look a little bit smoother, right? Now another thing we're going to do to make this look a little bit more round and smooth is we're going to take this edge loop that surrounds the cube over here, okay? With Alt and right mouse button. And we're going to push this entire edge loop downwards just a little bit, right? So it looks a little bit like it's a little bit inclined or something. So it's a little bit below the circle that we have on top, right? And once we do that, we're also going to have to do something similar to the bridge over here to continue this kind of trend of just kind of arching over the top, right? So we're going to select these 4 faces that we have in the middle, and we're going to slightly lift those up, all right? And we're also going to do the same thing once again with the 2 edges in the middle over here, in the middle of the bridge. We're also going to lift those up a little bit more, just so we have this round, smooth shape on top. As you can see now, it's all kind of nicely curved and bent on top here. So now we have a good start for our bridge, and now we have to start making the hole below, all right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to select the 2 edge loops around the 2 holes that we have, okay? So we have these 2 holes over here. We can just alt right click again to select edge loops. We can extrude that. We're going to snap it back into place with right click, and then we're going to push that downwards a little bit like this, all right? So now we have this physical bridge forming over here. It has some dimension, has some thickness to it, all right? Now the problem is that we still have the holes at the bottom. We don't want to fill those because there has to be another gap. This has to go over an empty space. Now it can't just be touching the bottom like this, right? That's one problem. And the other problem is that if you look below this bridge, it's still an empty space over here. The faces here are not filled, so we have to fill those in correctly, okay? So we have to select all these edges on the side here at the bottom of the bridge. All right, let's do that. And once we have those 2 edges selected, we're going to bridge the edge loops again. So W, bridge edge loops. And we're also going to add another loop cut to this to the bottom of this bridge, right? So with Control R, we're going to add a loop cut there. Maybe we can make that a little bit longer like this, so it kind of fits with the circle above, right? We can make sure we adjust that a little bit, all right? But now we have this these couple of faces connecting the bottom of the bridge. And now we're almost finished, guys, because now we just have to select this edge loop at the bottom once again. It should select all these vertices here, even below the bridge, which should be in a perfect circle, all right? Or at least close to a perfect circle, because we manually scale this, so it's not exactly below this vertex, but it's roughly there. And then we're going to extrude this once again with E, and we're going to right click to snap it back into place. And we're just going to move it downwards a little bit once again, okay? So now we have this nice space below the bridge. Now we can't just fill this because that's going to give us a very ugly n-gon, right? So we have to figure out a better way to do that, okay? And the best way to do that is while we have this entire edge loop selected, we're going to go up here to the face menu, and we're going to select grid fill. And as you can see, this makes a very nice fill. It fills the gap here with a very beautiful looking shape. The topology in this is only quads, it's perfect, right? We get this little menu down here when we use grid fill. We can adjust the way that it fills the shape here, okay? If you look in wireframe mode, you can adjust the way that it fills the shape. If you want to do something a little bit different, if something is a little bit more suitable for your particular situation, you can tell Blender how to fill this exactly. You can have some control over this, right? For me, the default way that happened here right now works perfectly well, so I'm going to keep that. And after we do that, we're also going to select all these faces at the bottom, and we're going to inset them a little bit to add an extra edge over here, just so when we use our subdivision surface modifier, it's going to look a little bit nicer and tighter. Maybe we can add another edge loop over here on the side, right? And now let's disable our wireframe view, okay? As you can see, now we have a bridge, and now we just have to make it a little bit nicer using some subdivision surface modifier and some more bevels and stuff like that, okay? So we're going to add a subdivision surface modifier. As you can see, since we have perfect topology, this subdivides perfectly well, so we have no problems with that, no triangles, no n-gons, nothing. And we're also going to add some smooth shading right here, okay? Now, one detail that I want to add here is I want to select all these edge loops on the top here again, around these 2 holes. So the sides of the bridge and the sides of the holes that go by the bridge, okay? And once we have those 2 loops selected like this, we're going to press Control B to bevel them a little bit, all right? Something like this, just a little bit. Because that way, when we add some loop cuts to the sides of these bevels, like this, it's going to look a lot nicer, all right? Check this out. We're going to do the same thing on the other side over here. And it looks a lot nicer because we have a nice bevel edge over here. We can add another level of subdivision. And you can see that we have this nice smooth beveled edge over here. It looks much nicer. You can also add a couple more loop cuts if you want, a couple more loop cuts to the side here to tighten some of these edges if you want to do that. I'm just going to leave it without those because I think it looks pretty good already. Maybe we can add another 2 edge loops on the bottom here, or loop cuts on the bottom here, so we can slide those down a little and tighten these edges a little bit, but we're going to leave it at that now, okay? Maybe also this side because that's also going to look a little bit nicer. As you can see now, we have this perfect bridge connecting the 2 sides of this hole. So think about what kind of situations you might be able to use this for. For example, I made a Ferrari once, and there were a couple of parts where I needed to have a handle like this going over a gap and connecting the 2 opposite sides. For example, the inside car handle, right, or the door handle on the inside, it needs to be a similar shape like this. There's another shape in the central console, in the center console of that particular car, which required me to do something similar. So this can be useful in a lot of cases, but in any case, exercising your topology is probably one of the best ways to improve your modeling skill. So if you guys enjoyed this, click like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.